Hey, 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 Amber, we are back once again, live, large and in charge. How are
Yes,
you? Happy Friday.
I'm good. How are you? Yes, happy Friday. This week went by fast, but I'm so happy it's Friday.
Ooh, yeah, I think TGIF, right? Did you ever watch the TGIF that was on, like, I think Channel 13 back in the day, or ABC with, like, Urkel and
Yeah.
Family Matters,
Oh, yeah. When
all
we
that?
only had like 5 channels, so we all watched
Yeah,
the
we have
same thing. Yeah.
5 channels to choose from. So we wanted to just welcome you all. Happy Friday, early December, my birthday week. Thank you very much. We're super ending my birthday week in an interesting way. I got a little sick this week, so we had to skip our planned Wednesday update. So we
Aw.
nudged this to Friday. Don't worry, we're still coming in strong each and every week, 2 times a week for you guys on Wednesdays and on Fridays to give you updates and all kinds of information about what the heck is going on here in Las Vegas when it comes to buying a house. So I know, Amber, the last update that we did, the last video that we did was about indicators in the market and what you should look for to help you understand how to really know when is the time for you to buy or when
Mhm.
it's the time
Mhm.
for you to make that big leap, that big decision. So I wanted to kind of kick it off and throw to you. Before I do that, though, I want to let you guys know these are for you. So if you have questions for us about anything related to Las Vegas, moving to Vegas, buying a house, whatever, drop it like it's hot in the comment box below. We'd love to chat with you. Amber and I are always here just to give you advice and guidance on your early stage discovery, or if you're ready to rock and roll, we want to be the ones that help you get from where you are to where you want to be, which is, of course, right here in our neon hometown. So click the link in the description, or you can just text me on that phone number that's scrolling across the bottom. It'll be there the whole time. We're super excited. We want to be here for you. We want to make sure that you have all the answers from the people whose boots are on the ground here in Las Vegas. So, Amber, so I know we talked about indicators to look for when it comes to judging the market and trying to make that decision for yourself. Tell me what are some things you're seeing out in the news right now, which we know can always be a little bit skewed.
Well, I pulled a couple headlines for you. By the way, I hope you're feeling better too, Lacey. I hate for you to
I'm
be sick on your
listen,
birthday
I
week. Come
was. I was sick on
on.
my birthday, but it's okay. But I'm here with you
Please.
now. We're here doing our live stream. I'm always happy to do this. So,
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so one thing that I look at, one thing that's very important to look at as far as indicators on what's happening with the housing market, we're always looking at inventory. And I know we'll talk about that later. But
yep.
while inventory, interest rate, and a few other things are what's making our market up, we know that the interest rates are kind of, they're doing really good things right now. They have
Yep.
been, right? They've been doing really good things. So we like it when they're heading downwards, right? So then we look at inventory. And one thing that I always pay really, really close attention to, because when inventory is the big top subject,
Right.
mortgage applications matter. And
Yep.
here's why. So the only way to really weigh how much competition you're going to have a house when you or you're going to have when you go in to buy a house is to look and see how many people are applying for loans. So when you're starting to see mortgage applications increase right now, the article that was pulled, just a few days ago, was mortgage applications increased 2.8%. So when you start seeing an increase in applications, that means more competition for you when you're out there fighting or getting house because inventory is so tight right
Right.
now.
So whoever out there has been watching the market on their own, the people that are sitting on the fence, which is a lot of people right now, interest
Yeah.
rates being high, everyone's going, I'm going to wait till they pop down and then I'll buy a house. Problem with waiting is exactly what you're saying, Amber, is the longer you wait, the more competition you will have, because as
Mhm.
we're barely seeing any movement, just a tiny bit of a movement when it comes to the rates, and boom, we started to see the increase in those applications, like you said. And I'm getting a lot more phone calls this last week or two than I actually have in the last month. So it's all correlated. So those folks are watching something that's making them realize it's now time to jump, right?
Yeah, well, and there's been a lot of articles that have been coming out, saying that the rates are low. The rates are at the levels they were in August. We kind of went through a bump that it was kind of getting crazy, right? So now we're at different levels in interest rates, but that means that you've really got to pay attention right now. If you're on the sideline, I would start making phone calls, because not
To
that we
us,
can.
hopefully to us. Let me just
Yeah,
put that out
well,
there.
yeah, to us, yeah. Not because we're trying to push you into anything, but because when you start seeing the applications go higher and you start seeing inventory go lower, then that means that eventually we're going to be fighting offers, and then the price of houses are going to go higher, just as they did last year,
Yep.
January, February, March, in the springtime. We were dealing with the same type of thing. Less incentives were given because you're having to compete for that
Yep.
house.
So we're
So,
going to walk through the price points right now. We're going to walk through inventory and stuff and do some fun stuff here in a few minutes. But this is really, really important, guys. If you're
mhm,
thinking about buying a house in Las Vegas or moving to Vegas, even if you don't buy right away, if you're thinking about moving to Vegas, even rentals are going to be pinched by exactly what we're talking about. If
mhm,
interest rates are lower, people starting to make moves, people are still waiting, they're on the sidelines. Everything is affected by that. So you guys need to know the more competition is not good for you. So getting
mhm,
out there and getting on the market quickly while people are still kind of hemming and hawing, or getting your ducks in a row, at least with Amber and I, making that phone call, having our intro call, getting your documents in with her so that you're ready to strike when the iron is hot enough for you, is probably the best thing. And that's what we wanted to talk to you about today.
absolutely. There was a couple other articles that I pulled too. So
Yes.
so when you're looking at articles that are coming out, so this week at the beginning of the week, there was a lot of good news out there. So
Yeah.
like this article, for example, and these were all over the place. The Fed will likely cut interest rates 4 times next year as the economy remains resilient. So when you're seeing things like this, it almost makes you think, well, let me just wait because rates are going to drop, right?
Yep. Yep.
But every article is mostly about getting clicks, right? And
Yeah.
what the decisions that the feds make has to do with reports that are coming out on a daily basis. So then today we got hit with the unemployment numbers coming out, or the employment numbers coming out, and they were better than expected. So so which means that the feds the feds are wanting to slow down the jobs, right? So the solid job growth, sharp wage gains is causing people to be like, okay, maybe we won't have those 4 decreases in rates, So like
Yeah.
today's news is different.
Yeah, so just to reiterate, so like we're getting clickbait news, of course. Do we want the Fed to cut interest rates? Of course we do.
Yes.
And they probably will, because honestly it's we're coming up on an election year, and that typically is something that we see happen when it comes to election years. And that whatever your politics are, that's the truth of the matter. Look back
Mhm.
at history, let that tell you the story, right? But to
Mhm.
your point, Amber, those two articles that we just showed you tell a different story, right? One
Mhm.
contradicts the other. So one says, and I don't know if it's hopeful or they just want those clicks, the Fed's going to cut interest rates next year, which I'm hoping they do. That would be great. But then
Mhm.
the other article's like, wait a minute, jobs are actually the jobless unemployment rates are better than ever, and everybody's feeling great about that component of the economy,
Mhm.
which would then force the other side to slow down, right? So it's genuinely like they're working against each other. So we really bring those
Mhm.
up to make sure you guys understand that you're looking at the people who are in the business every single day. Of course, we're here absorbing all of this information on your behalf, of course, and we're trying to make heads or tails of it based on our industry experience. Amber's been doing this, I don't want to say the number of years, but let's
It
just say it's
ages
double
me.
digits. It
Yeah.
ages you, but only because you started at age 5, but that's okay.
Yeah, there
She
you
was like
go.
a prodigy loan officer right back in the day. But we've been doing this, double digits. And we know after this many years in the business, how to kind of feel and understand what's going to come next. So
Mhm.
I personally do believe there are going to be some rate cuts next year, just based on the fact that it's an election timeframe that we're talking about. And all of that typically happens from a historical perspective, but all these other things might change things for in a different way. So I don't know what your
Well,
thoughts are on that.
it might, you're right about the election. So to age myself, I've been doing this for 21 years. And every 4 years, when we get to a presidential election, magically, we see the market just get better, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the powers to be that are in power right now don't want things to go bad in their election year, right?
Right.
Their re-election year. So so you do typically see things get a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully that follows trend as far as rates goes, but sometimes that comes with other things that happen too to make it get better. So but how better it will get depends on what kind of reports that are released. Just like the report today that shows there's more jobs than what they thought there was.
Right.
So those things matter because they all affect inflation, and that's what
Right.
everybody's looking at right now. How to bring inflation down. So if something comes out that if a report comes out that shows there was more job growth than what was expected, more jobs means there's more people spending money in the
Right.
economy, which causes inflation to go higher. So that's why it matters.
Right. So that's a lot of stuff that I always get a little bit foggy on when we go that deep on
Did I
stuff,
lose
but
you?
really just no, definitely wanted to just say to everybody, if you're seeing notices that the feds are looking to cut rates and you believe that's what's going to happen, like I do, even if it's just a little bit, then now is the time to reach out and talk to somebody. If you're genuinely looking at buying, don't wait until they fall, because the minute they do fall, there's already a billion people in front of you that are out there. And you'll see what we saw 2 years ago, 18 months ago, where people were digging in their mom's mattress for money just to compete for a house, to get something.
Yeah.
With a low inventory, which we're going to talk about in a minute, you're always going to be competing for those houses when the interest rates fall. So getting in sooner is a way better deal. And then refinance it once you get the house. Get the house, get the better rate a little bit later, better way to go about it. So let's talk for a minute, if you're cool, Amber, about kind of what's going on in the market right now. So as you guys know, when we do pull different information for you, we only have access to the rear view mirror. We don't have a crystal ball that tells us that, the windshield's real foggy. We try to make sure that we can, wipe it off and talk to you guys on what we know from our many years in this industry. But right now, as of November of 2023, our median home price is $475,000, and our median condo / townhome price is $279,900. So I want you guys to pay attention to the couple of numbers on this screen here. Number one, the units available in the top right-hand corner right now, as of last month, is 4,300, which is about 3 months worth at the rate and pace that we're selling homes, about 3 months worth of availability. That's a hell of a lot better. That's for single family units, of course. That's a hell of a lot better than it was a few months ago when we had, and a year and a half ago when people were duking it out for those houses. We had 1 month available, less than 1 month available. Because again, the less homes available, the less opportunity you're going to have to buy. But let's rewind the clock 1 year. So this is 2023 numbers, right? Let's look at 2022 real quick. 2022,
wow, that was a lot more inventory.
Shows a very different story. And let's talk about why it's sharing such a different story here. Interest rates were a whole lot different even in 2022 at this time. They were changing, but they were not where they are right now. We had 7,300 units available and almost 2 more months available than what we currently have. And the prices were that much lower. So you see the correlation is more inventory means more options, which means you pay less, hopefully. But now if I switch back quickly to 2023, you'll see less inventory equals obviously less options, and you're going to pay more for the options that you have because there's more people competing. So I'm going to do the switch back one more time just so you guys can see those numbers. This is 2022, median price 460, median price 267 from a single family unit, condo, townhome perspective, with almost 5 months availability to buy and almost 4 months availability to buy respectively. Then if you switch over to 2023, you're genuinely cutting the availability down quite a bit, and the price has done nothing but go up. And keep in mind, a year ago, everybody and their mom was telling us, and I'm going to get big on the screen here to talk to you about this. Everybody and their mom was telling us it's going to crash this time exactly last year. I'm waiting for the crash. I'm going to buy a house for $22,000. Your city's doomed. I'm not going to be an idiot and buy now. Nobody who's an idiot, nobody who's smart would buy now, only idiots. Well, my friends, as we stated, and I hate to say I told you so, but I'm going to say it. I told you so. We did not have a crash, and there is not a crash impending, at least not for this city. So again, let me just throw those stats up there one more time, just because I want to just make sure we're all on the same page here. So we're going to go 2023, medium home price is 475. We got about 3 months of effective availability. And again, of almost 279, 280 for the condos. I'm going to switch to 2022 just one more time to make my point. More inventory, more options, you pay a little bit less inventory, less options, you pay a little bit more. So it's kind of, the story is telling itself over and over and over again. So when Amber and I are on here doing these live streams, and we're telling you about grant programs and free money programs and stuff that's just flooding the market, because there's many of you who are scared and waiting back on, I'm going to wait until the market crashes. Be the smart one who uncrosses your arms and shows up and says, man, maybe a phone call is worth it. Maybe a phone call and a conversation is worth it. Amber and I do not pressure. I don't care. If you don't buy a house, no biggie. If you don't choose to buy a house today, no problem. But these are the things that we're trying to tell you to take advantage of, because that free money dries up real fast. And those programs and those special loan programs kind of go away when the market evens out. And I'm telling you, if they do reduce the rates at all, we're seeing a sliver come down off the top in the last couple of weeks, and we've seen almost a 3% increase in mortgage applications. So if only a sliver is causing that kind of movement, oh my God, I'm going to hold on to my hair for the next one.
And not only that, the increase in mortgage applications is during the holidays too.
Yeah, which is typically a very slow time.
Yeah. So once the holidays are over, then we're looking at something totally different. That's why we always say this is a sweet spot. And that kind of shows it right there with the numbers that you just showed. It's almost like, because the price still went up because the inventory was low. Even though rates were hitting crazy levels, the
Yep.
inventory was low. So it was keeping the
Yeah.
market moving because there isn't much to buy. And honestly, that's not going to change because builders can't build fast enough right now.
Yeah, so absolutely. And I just checked to see what the inventory looks like today. So again, we're looking at for 2023, just last month alone, we were looking at about 4,300 units available. Right now, as of today, there's almost 6,900 units available. So we're seeing a little bit of an uptick, which is great. I think a lot of people are getting the picture that, or getting the message of, I better get my house on the market before the new year comes, because that's when the surge is going to hit, because it happens every year. Vegas is very different from other markets. Like other markets, it's cold out, it's snowy. Nobody wants to drive around in the snow and look at houses. Vegas has beautiful weather year round, 300 days of sunshine. Nobody's upset if there's a little bit of wind and they have to put a light jacket on, right? So buying a house during the winter is a lot more viable. And in January and February, we have a tendency to see a small slowdown for the first 2 weeks and then skyrocket. Our spring season, I think, kicks off about mid-February. That's how my experience has been. So, so the other thing is, I thought it would be, so that's that. So if you guys have questions about the market, that's what's going on. If you're thinking about buying, or you want to move to Vegas, or you just want to maybe just talk and ask questions about what you should do, what your timeline should look like, we do not pressure you. Please just call us. If you've watched any of our most recent previous live streams, we talked about how to do things, how to fix your credit, or how to buy a house with bad credit. We've done a lot of really great live streams on our channel. So please go and check those out and learn and educate yourself. But we're here too, and we want to be available to you. So click the link in the description or the pinned comment, or just text message, boom, right there, that phone number that's scrolling on the bottom there. It's my personal phone number. I'm literally giving my phone number out to the world. You're welcome. It's a little scary sometimes what I receive on that phone, but I'm still doing it. It's fine. But we want to be here to answer your questions and get you ready. If you're not ready for 5 more years, cool. Let's talk now. It doesn't matter. I know you're going to visit. I know you might want to know where coffee shops to go to and what cool speakeasies are around, right? This is the girl you want to talk to. So regardless of what your reasoning is, just reach out. We're here for you. We want to talk about it.
Yeah.
So before we finish our live stream, Amber, I want to make sure we take questions. So while I'm going to do this fun activity really quickly, but for those of you who are thinking about moving, or you have questions, or you don't know what you're doing, drop those questions like it's hot in the comment box. We'll answer those questions before we wrap it up in a few minutes. Amber, I thought it would be fun to do one of your favorite things. Let's look at the market and see what's listed today. Cheapest home in Las Vegas. We're gonna go shopping. Cheapest home in Vegas and the most expensive home in Vegas. Are you ready?
Oh yes, let's do it.
Alrighty, I hope I'm going to make it bigger.
I'm like curious right now. What is the cheapest home?
All right, we're going to start with the most expensive home in Las Vegas. It's been listed for 32 days, 685 Dragon Peak Drive, listed for $34 million. Let's open up these.
Oh, what does this look like?
Look at this bad boy. It's only been listed for 30 days. It's how I don't know whose it used to be. I'm not going to give that information out online, Amber, but look at this custom home.
I know you can't say it.
It's in Henderson, McDonald Highlands. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous, custom, beautiful home. Good Lord. $34 million. If somebody watching this has $34 million and ready to buy this house, you better call me. I want to be, selling, what is it called? Selling Las Vegas, selling Vegas. I want to be the selling Sunset Girls on Netflix. Just, I'll put a skimpy outfit on if I got to sell you this house. I'll do what I got to do. This is in McDonald Highlands, which is up on the hill in Henderson, one of the most beautiful communities that I've ever seen, honestly. I know this isn't quite large, so I hope you guys can see the photos as best as possible. Some gorgeous, gorgeous skylines overlooking the city. Yeah, I wish I could make this bigger, but just an amazing, amazing house. So $34 million, I'll buy you 12,655 square feet, 6 bedrooms, and 3 baths and a casita and all kinds of stuff. So that's the most expensive home. Let's now look at the least expensive home, the cheapest home in Vegas, $170,000. Now keep in mind, guys, I actually chose the homes in Vegas only. There's Pahrump and other areas. I only chose the one that's in Vegas. 170, it was listed at 185. It's 503 square feet. Are you ready to see this thing?
Let's do it.
Can you see this? Does that oh no, this is better.
Quite a bit different from the $34 million house.
It's quite a bit different. I don't know if you can see does this make it bigger? I can't tell.
It's the same size, but I can see the picture.
So this bad boy is this is an interesting.
Where is that?
This is located over in 89101. So if I let me pull the map up and look where this bad boy is. So this is over near downtown Vegas. It's over by downtown Vegas. So I gotcha. All right, let me go back in these photos. Let's check out the least expensive home. 170. There's a awesome water heater that's it's slightly up to code, possibly. Here's Listen, this is a fixer upper. If you guys got some cash, you want to put some cash in, flip this baby. You got 170,000. You're going to be near the arts district. You'll be downtown. You might have to do a full gut job because I'm pretty sure that some of that electrical is not up to code. But listen, a house is a house, and you get the land with it. So
I was
there's
gonna
no
say, it
shame
looks
in
like
that
there's
game. Ooh, check out that. Do you see this? Look at this awesome tile. There's no shame in the game. You buy the land with the house. You could tear down the house and start over from scratch if you want.
Well,
But
and that's where you do one of those renovation loans, right? You
yep.
tear down
Oh,
the
let's talk
slab and
about
then
that.
you rebuild. Yeah.
Let's talk about that for a second. Actually, hold on. Let me move this off the thing. First of all, I love doing that. I hope you guys enjoy that. I know I like doing it. I know Amber does too.
Yes, my
Cheapest house,
favorite.
170, 34 million to a 170. That's your range, guys. We got something for everyone in Las Vegas here. And that's not including condos, of course. But Amber, let's talk about that renovation loan because I didn't hate the location of that house, actually. It's right near downtown. It's right by the arts district. It's only about a 2-mile drive, I'd say. Do you love that I can look at the map and I can tell you exactly how far something is? That's how much I know Las Vegas.
You just
I know the city. And it would take you approximately 6 minutes to get from there to downtown arts district. Not a bad, horrible location. I would buy that. I would buy that in a heartbeat. Tell me about that renovation loan that we could do.
So there's a renovation loan that you can take. You could actually take it down to slab and then completely rebuild it from that point. So you're going to basically go to a contractor, get the price on what it would take to basically rebuild it with whatever your specs and wants and needs and everything else that's in your house, and then get a price on it. And then we would take that price, add it to the 170,000 that it took to buy it. Because honestly, that could just be the price of that area for land. Who knows? That could be kind of expensive land out there.
Land downtown is not cheap right now. A lot of people who own land downtown are holding on to it, waiting for some big boom to happen. There's some major movement happening in downtown, and it is a couple miles away, but I'm telling you, 5, 6 years from now, 8, 10 years from now, I'm telling you guys, downtown is going to be a lot bigger than it is. There's going to be a huge markets and districts and shopping. There's development happening. Trust me. So that's not, as much as I'm making fun and poking fun of that tile in that bathroom, that thing could be completely leveled with one of your loans that you're talking about. And you could actually renovate or build something that could be something like cool. You could put like shipping containers on there, not with your renovation loan, I know, but shipping containers, you could do a little community. There's all kinds of ideas that I would have for something like that.
Yeah. The sky is the limit. The sky is the limit with it. So there's definitely ways to turn that into what you want it. And that's in a nice, it's in a good area that's central to everything too.
Absolutely. Right off the freeway. All right, let's hop over to our questions, see if we've got anybody asking questions. Again, guys, we want to talk to you. Even if you're just considering Vegas, I will make time to have a phone call with you. Let's chat. Let me answer your phone. Let me answer your phone call and then all your questions. And also, Amber, if you're wanting to talk about game plan or fixing your credit, or if you're just maybe ready to start applying and getting in early, so that when the rates do fall, you'll be ready to rock. I think Amber's your girl too. So just don't be afraid to reach out. Phone number's at the bottom. You can text me, call me anytime. You could also click the link in the description and set up a meeting with me. We'd love to chat with you. So, okay, let's look and see. Okay, we've got Michael. Michael's being very sweet. He says, was it my 29th birthday? I was bedridden and sick as a dog on my not 29th birthday, which was on Monday. I'm add a couple to the 29 and I'll go with that one. But thank you for being so sweet. Add a few more. Beach all day guy says, does all of Summerlin have HOA fees, SIDS and lids? I'm thinking Summerlin adjacent. So great question. So SIDS and lids, just so you guys know, are they're special improvement district and land improvement district loans that the government gives to the developers. So it really helps them understand or helps them build out the community infrastructure, the sidewalks, the street lamps, the mailbox, all the stuff that needs to be put in to make sure that it's appropriately set up before they start building houses. Prior to, I don't know, 25, 30 years ago, those were sort of absorbed by the builder and just built into your pricing. But when Summerlin started to be built, which is what he's asking about, they actually started to build that stuff, and actually Anthem too. Summerlin and Anthem were kind of the two big communities that built out. They decided to push that fee directly onto you as the consumer, as the home buyer. So you were paying it either way. They just didn't hide it anymore, I guess. So yes, all of Summerlin does have SIDS and lids. All of Summerlin has an HOA. If it's considered a Summerlin home, you're going to have at least one HOA for the master plan community, which includes groundskeeping for the areas, the parks, and all the great stuff. SIDS and lids may have already been paid off by the previous owners of the house if you're buying resale. If you're buying new, you will have a SIDS and lid payment. Now, that's a payment you make separately to the government twice a year. Usually it's June and December, or January and July, something like that. And it's a loan from the government that you can ask to have the previous owner pay off as a part of your negotiation, which is what we do on my team, or you just make the payments depending on how we negotiate it for you. If you're buying new, you're going to be making that payment. So you have to keep that in mind. In addition to your monthly mortgage payment, you've got your HOA. Sometimes you have a secondary HOA if you have a gate or a special neighborhood within Summerlin, or extra amenities, things like that. And then in addition to that, annually, you'll have the 2 SIDS and LIDS payments that may or may not be attached to the home. It's going to depend on what the previous owners and sales processes have gone through. So good question. If you're thinking of Summerlin adjacent, you're thinking a really good idea, my friend, and I would love to chat with you about that. I love helping people understand that you don't have to live in Summerlin to enjoy Summerlin at all. Summerlin's very big. It's like 22,000 acres, I think, or something crazy. It's huge and it's beautiful and wonderful and all the wonderful things. But there's areas that bump right up next to Summerlin where all you have to do is open your back door, step over the line of the invisible line that doesn't exist. And you can now enjoy the shopping, the food, the amazing parks, the trails, all the things without paying for it. So would love to be able to help you understand the best areas that are adjacent to Summerlin, because there's some pretty good ones out there. And then let's see, John says, are there any homes in Las Vegas that have no HOAs? Amber, do you know the answer to this question?
Well, yes, there is homes that have no HOAs. Most of the time they're going to be a little older homes. So am I not right? Am I right there, Laci?
Yeah, we're about 85 to 87% HOA community here in Las Vegas. Now, a lot of people get so picky about HOAs. I don't want an HOA because they've had a bad experience when they lived in California or another state. I'm here to tell you our HOA communities are not like the ones I've heard about around the world. They're all, for the most part, I mean, a lot of HOAs are kind of BS. They don't really do anything for you, but what they do for you is they continue to, I guess, protect the value of your home by not allowing the neighbors to paint their garage purple or put a toilet seat on the middle of the lawn or park a car on the lawn. It really keeps your house and neighborhood from being devalued by decisions that are being made by one-off owners. Also helps with like renters and things like that who may not take as good of care of the home. HOA enforces those rules to keep everybody on the same page. So I know a lot of people don't like HOAs. I enjoy them for that reason, but they're not sticklers like I've seen in other states. So don't stress too much about HOAs. We can talk about it, but we do have some homes without HOAs, and there are even some new homes that are being built without HOAs as well. It's very few and far between. The majority, like Amber said, are going to be at least 25 years old, 20 to 25 years old. But don't be discouraged, because it's a very easy thing we can do to look in the system and find which homes are without HOA. So don't get too discouraged by it. Some of them are low. I know some people pay $13 a month or something. Isn't that like the cost of one coffee right now, like $13 or something?
Yeah, some of them are really low and there's not
Yeah.
really much to them, but a lot of them do have the HOAs on there.
Yeah. Oh, John, he's being so sweet. Looking beautiful, Amber. Hey, girl. Hey, you do look
Thanks,
good.
John.
Whatever you're doing, this lighting is working for you today. I'm loving it.
Thanks.
Kendall says he's considering, first of all, thank you for your service, Kendall. If that's a photo of you, thank you so much for your service. We love our veterans. Considering North Las Vegas in the Aliante area, amazing area. And you can get a lot. You can get a lot for your money up there, a lot for your money. In fact, like it's a juicy spot that nobody talks about. So if you're thinking about it, I want to be the one to help you. I've sold many homes up there. I sold a home in Aliante last year that was like a 6-bedroom. It was almost a 4,000 square foot home, like 3,800 square feet, 6 bedrooms, massive loft. They had a theater. I mean, it was a massive, beautiful oasis of a backyard. And it was like $670. The exact same model home was located in Henderson. And it was over $1 million. That's the delta.
Yeah, it is crazy how much cheaper it is out there, but it's a nice place out there. Like they still have all the amenities and everything
Beautiful
that you would have any other place. But
it's just, I think the difference is it's on the outside edge of town, which everything is now, but it's in an area that not everybody focuses on because it's not Summerlin or Henderson. So Aliante is a juicy, crunchy deal. It's like that granola that you make on Christmas morning and anyway, I'm getting hungry. It's okay. It's really, really good. So Kendall, please click the link in the description or just text me. Let's talk if you're thinking about it. I would love to talk. He said in 10 years or less, he's thinking about moving. I want to talk to you today, my friend. I bet you I bet you I could convince you possibly to buy sooner rather than later and just make money on that house before you move. So then when you do get here, you got a house with equity. It's maybe halfway paid off. I don't know. And you could rent it out and make some money. This city is booming, guys. The prices are not going down. So buy while you can. But either way, Kendall, even if it's not for 10 years, I want to definitely help you with that process. And Amber wants to help you leverage your other assets that you have to maybe
let's work that game plan. Try to, help you see what you can do.
Yes. We had a client reach out the other day that said, I have to sell my home before I can come. And I don't know what I want to do. And there's just like this, they had all these preconceived notions that they had to do all this stuff before they could buy. And it was a very easy discussion to saying, no, actually, we don't want you to let go of your home if you own a home. We want to help you leverage the equity in that home to put it towards something here. So now you're building a mini real estate empire and actually building, a portfolio that could pay your bills for the rest of your life. So it was a really cool conversation. And I know that she's talking to you, I think today, if I'm not mistaken. So looking forward to hearing what happens.
Yes. You know what?
So
And that just on that subject, I've seen so many people do that. Like I have clients in their 60s and 70s and they're multimillionaires because they've leveraged that real estate,
yep.
rented, bought,
Mhm.
like they just kept doing it over and over again. So yes,
Yeah.
that's what we love to do is help you see that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I don't see any more questions coming through. Wanted to just say thank you as always, Amber, for making time for this. Our next update, let me pull up our little plan here. I'm pretty sure it's about how to buy a house after bankruptcy, if I'm not mistaken. So let me just double check what our schedule looks like here, Amber.
I
Yeah, it
think
looks
that's
like
right.
I think that's correct. I think so. The next one we're going to do, guys, is how to buy a home after declaring bankruptcy. That's going to be next Wednesday. I'll be putting the live stream link up over the weekend so you can, opt in and say, yes, I'm going to be there. We've got some really, really, really new cool stuff coming up. I'll throw a couple of things out there just to whet your palate. How to buy a home if you're self-employed, bank statement loans, 5 problems first-time home buyers never see coming, DSCR loans. And then right after the new year, the first message that we're going to send out to you guys after the new year's, we're going to do a loan and grants roundup. It's going to be a big, big live stream where we're going to walk through everything we walked through that we taught you about in 2023. And we're going to talk about everything that you maybe have missed out on or that you could maybe still take advantage of. So lots of really, really, I add that, by the way, Amber, I added that to our plan. I didn't tell you yet, but I added that to our plan.
It worked for me. I was like, yeah, it works for me. So, because you honestly, the beginning of the year for grants is great because sometimes you'll get new grants that are coming out. So then we can talk about it. So hopefully it's right. It hits that point where we get the new grants.
I hope so. Okay. I
We're
got a
gonna
few other
educate.
questions. A few other questions came in. I'm going to make sure I touch on them. So you guys are so sweet to be here. McLovin, the Irish R&B singer. First of all, what's up, McLovin? What's up with the new homes in Ascension in South Summerlin? Will they have rooftop decks? Anything super special about them? Ascension's a new community that I've been actually checking out myself. I don't know that they're doing a lot of the rooftop decks up in Summerlin. That's not really the aesthetic of Summerlin. Most of the rooftop decks are being done down in the southwest side of town, a little bit in the Lone Mountain outside Summerlin adjacent area, right outside of that. But I haven't seen any of the rooftop decks in terms of the layouts of those homes. So, but if you want to learn more, please text me. We can set up a call. I can do a little more research for you and find out. The special thing about those homes is going to be that they're in Summerlin. They're going to be in that gorgeous area that's right over by South Summerlin, where all the new Durango Station and all the really cool stuff happening is going up. So stay tuned. Stay tuned on that. Let's see. Carrie says we're from Portland and want to move to either Vegas or Pahrump the next year. Carrie, call me. Let's talk.
Yes.
Please do not wait. Call me. Text me on my phone number. There's a link in the description, a link in the pinned comment. Let's talk today. Even if you're not moving for 10 years, now is the time to chat with me. I won't pressure you, I promise. Except for right now that I'm pressuring you to do, which is to make
We're going to inspire, though.
We're going to inspire
right?
you. Yeah, I definitely want to get ahead of it because there's some stuff. A lot of people don't realize there's new home stuff that you could take advantage of that you can't really do if you wait till the last minute. So if you let me talk to you now, we can make a big plan and make sure you know what side of town is going to serve your amazing lifestyle. Super excited. And we do a lot of business in Pahrump too. So call me. Call me. I'm going to start singing that. Oh, John Harris says, don't leave, don't go. John, now it's time to say goodbye to all our company. LACIMOUSE. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Again, we got how to buy a house after declaring bankruptcy next week and some more really juicy topics that we're covering 2 times a week, Wednesdays and Fridays, as long as I don't get sick again, which I'm hoping I was death warmed over.
No more sickness. All welcome here.
Super excited, guys. Love you. Thanks for joining us. As always, Amber, my sweet and amazing partner. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye, guys.
Happy weekend, guys.